Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Sandra Clark. Between the pages today, we prepare our hearts and hands for Labor Day, putting the children first. We also visit Japan through their works of art using dolls. So stay with us as we turn the pages.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, May 21. To improve public access to market information, the Bank of Jamaica BOJ is now posting more information on its website on daily foreign exchange market transactions. As of Monday, May 20, persons can find information on the volume and price for each transaction of $100,000 or more. The information will be available at the end of each day's trading. A statement from the central bank says this is intended to foster greater transparency in relation to large US dollar transactions by authorized foreign exchange dealers and cambios. These transactions do not represent all of the trading on that day and will not identify the counterparties to each transaction, but the public will be able to view historical data on this. Technology Minister Favour Williams has promised to ensure that the Joint Select Committee on the Data Protection Bill reconvenes its review in June to expedite tabling of the legislation in the House of Representatives. The bill has been drafted to ensure that individuals have greater control over their personal data. It should put an end to the fragmented approach to secrecy, confidentiality, and privacy, and is to establish a uniform, robust, and clear mandate to protect people's personal data. At a recent JIS think tank, Minister Williams said the goal was to have it passed this legislative year.
The bill is a paradigm shift, as it will require data controllers to completely rethink how they process personal data. They will be required to develop data privacy policies that ensure that the personal data being processed is obtained fairly and lawfully, is obtained for one or more specified and lawful purposes, and processing is consistent with that purpose, is not excessive in relation to the purpose for which they are processed, and is adequate and relevant.
The Integrated Resource Plan IRP, which is expected to guide the development of a modern energy sector in Jamaica, will be completed in June. That's according to Minister of Science, Energy and Technology Favour Williams. She was making her contribution to the 2019-20 sectoral debate in Parliament recently. The IRP will establish the projected electricity demand over a 20-year period and determine the generating capacities that will be required to satisfy that demand.
This will provide the framework for informed decisions to be made so that Jamaicans will only pay for the electricity that they need. The data to be derived from the IRP will also inform the revision of the National Energy Policy, which will be undertaken in this financial year.
Labour and Social Security Minister Shahini Robinson says she expects the Occupational Safety and Health Act to be passed into law soon. She says the legislation, which is now before a Joint Select Committee of Parliament, will create necessary changes to advance labour market reform.
In short order, it will be law in Jamaica, and this is a piece of legislation that is coming to protect employer and employees, and we urge everyone to read it, get familiar with it, because it will be a game changer for investment for a lot of things in Jamaica.
The Labour Minister was addressing the recent Jamaica Employees Federation 37th Annual Business and Workplace Convention and Expo. In her remarks, senior specialist at the International Labour Organization, Vanessa Pala, said key recommendations have been made in the ILO's Future of Work report towards promoting social justice. These include increasing investments in people's capabilities as well as in decent and sustainable work.
It talks about employment contracts and social dialogue mechanisms that we require at the workplaces to make sure that we constantly engage and we come up with, or we co-create solutions to some of the challenges that confront our workplaces.
The ILO Future of Work report will form part of critical discussions in the upcoming International Labour Conference that will be attended by a Jamaican delegation led by Minister Shaheen Robinson in June. The Ministry of Health and Wellness's program to reduce waiting times in hospital, accident and emergency departments and nearby health centers is reaping significant success.
Our interventions resulted in an overall 40% increase in the number of patient visits in the targeted health centers in 2016-2017.
The Chief Medical Officer says it has also resulted in simultaneous decrease in waiting times at hospital emergency rooms. Dr. Bisesa McKenzie was speaking recently at the official opening of the renovated Black River Health Center. The Reducing Waiting Time initiative was a response to overcrowding at hospital emergency departments. It was piloted in 2016 in 7 hospitals and 8 health centers with support from the Pan American Health Organization. The program has since been expanded to other health facilities. And finally, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport Olivia Grange says funds have now been identified to build a new health center in Spanish Town. The minister was giving an update on a commitment made by Prime Minister Andrew Holness last year as he committed to easing the burden on the Cumberland Road Health Center.
At this time, the Health Fund has indicated that the funds are there to build a new health center, and we are now looking for the land on which to locate that health center.
Minister Grange was speaking at a recent JI's think tank where she provided details on this year's Labor Day activities and gave an update on the impact of 2018's projects. The Cumberland Road Health Center was one of last year's National Labor Day projects and benefited from the construction of a ramp as well as improvements to its patient waiting area and record storage facility. Minister Grange says the health center has seen a tremendous increase in usage in the wake of that work. Labor Day this year will be observed on Thursday under the theme Child Safety. It's you, it's me, it's all of we. And that's it for JI's News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
Protect Jamaica, plant your grass. Help us become more resilient to climate change impacts. Protect Jamaica, plant a tree. It improves the island's national biodiversity. Trees may be fruit, ornamental or timber, but must be native or suitable to the area's natural landscape. Join the Jamaica Million Tree Campaign and help to plant 1 million trees by June 30, 2019. This is a call to action by the National Environment and Planning Agency.
According to a UN report, 3/4 of the world's major conflicts have a cultural dimension. Let's allow that to sink in. If we could all be respectful and tolerant of each other's choices, this world would definitely be a better place. Jamaica is very much known as a place for cultural dialogue. Our very own motto says it, out of many we are one. A number of nationals from other places have called here home or shared their culture with us. The Embassy of Japan, for instance, has staged an exhibition on dolls, showcasing how a toy can be a bridge for cultural divide. Take a look. 70 distinct dolls, each telling a different story about the unique customs and beliefs of the Japanese people.
In this week's edition of the Arts Page, we welcome you to the Dolls of Japan, Shapes of Prayer, Embodiments of Love.
The National Museum, in partnership with the Embassy of Japan, has opened up the Dolls of Japan exhibition at its 10 to 16 East Street location in Kingston. It's to help Jamaicans develop a greater understanding and appreciation of Japanese art and culture. Japanese dolls have formed part of everyday life in that country since ancient times. Some are traditional dolls, which represent children, warriors, heroes, fairy tale characters, and gods. Others are symbolic of seasons and festivals and are much more than playthings.
What we have in this space is Inamatsuri, which is a celebration of Girls' Day in Japan, done on the 3rd of March. This is to celebrate femininity, to celebrate health and wealth for females, and it is also to celebrate girl power. Now we have here are the Emperor and the Empress. They are put on the top tier of the red velvet tier. Then you have the Mistress in Waiting and also the ministers at the bottom. Now our Japanese intern Asusa from JICA, she'll tell you more about Inamatsuri and the other dolls that we have on display here.
So first doll is Hina doll. Hina doll is beautiful empress and emperor. Every Japanese family have these Japanese doll and decorate for the girls. We always have 7 steps like this, and we put on red carpet, and every family can purchase from artisan some company in Japan. So it's a little bit expensive, but many family buy it, and we eat small pink dumpling and sing together, and we celebrate the girls' happy life. 明かりをつけましょうぼんぼりにお花をあげましょう桃の花五人林の笛太鼓今日は楽しいひな祭り This is celebrate boys, and we have a boys festival at May 5th. So every family decorate this and celebrate boys. The boys festival celebrate boys masculinity and health. So they have looks like a samurai and sword, but he is a little boy. So it is celebrate good. It is celebrate boys' health and should be strong and healthy boy. He is in the old story for the children. He always with animal, bear and some strong animal, and he play with animals, and he is a symbol of the strong boy in Japan. This artifact called as kokeshi, it is minimal types of Japanese dolls. They don't have hand, they don't have neck, and they don't have feet. And I'd like to show this one. This one has a red leaf. It indicates the autumn. There are many seasonable kokeshi is there. It is made by wood and carving and sometimes painted one. This artwork called Battle Paddle Hagoita. This is Hagoita is used in the Japanese, called as a Japanese badminton, and it is girls play girls toy and use badminton, and they have a small stage and many layers of the silk fabric. So it is so beautiful, so we can't touch anything. So just looking and just decorate as an ornament.
The Dolls of Japan is a traveling exhibition, which means that it will be visiting other countries across the world. Before coming to Jamaica, the exhibition was on display in Guatemala, and after leaving Jamaica, it will travel to the Dominican Republic, then to another 130 countries. But if you have not seen it yet, you still have some time before it leaves.
It's going to be here until June 28th, so we implore you to come on out.
Jamaica Eye is part of an island-wide network of camera surveillance systems designed to increase the safety of you, our citizens. If you have a camera system outside your home or office facing a public space, join us in helping to make Jamaica a safer place for all. Log on to jamaicaeye.gov.jm today. Jamaica Eye, we're all connected. The Ministry of National Security, creating a safer and prosperous Jamaica.
Up next, the latest happenings out of the office of the Prime Minister.
New water treatment plan for Rio Cobre. Prime Minister announces measures to alleviate drought and updates the nation on former Prime Minister's health. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan. $100 million has been set aside for the National Water Commission to truck water to corporate area communities that don't have the commodity. The government has also ramped up its tank distribution drive in constituencies affected by the water shortage. Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced these and other plans during last Tuesday's sitting of Parliament. He said the measures were put in place to alleviate worsening drought in Kingston and St. Andrew as well as sections of St. Catherine.
We understand the great level of frustration and the inconvenience this has caused in affected households and places of business. And most importantly, Mr. Speaker, we appreciate the patience and understanding being exercised by residents.
With the National Water Commission producing 28 million gallons of water less than its daily capacity, Prime Minister Andrew Holness urged Jamaicans to practice water conservation.
I take this opportunity to make an appeal to residents to conserve. Now is the time that we have to conserve.
The Prime Minister also unveiled medium to long-term plans to increase access to potable water in the Kingston metropolitan region. He announced a $160 million program to increase storage and improve water generation, production and distribution. Of that amount, $60 million will be used to construct a 15 million gallon per day water treatment plant along the Rio Cobre River. Work is also nearing completion on transmission mains along the Hagley Park and Constant Spring roads.
With the works now underway, we are building the resilience of our water infrastructure. We are hoping that when the heavens open up and the rains do come, we will be in a better position to save this precious resource and to improve the conditions of our people.
Mr. Holness said money would also be spent to upgrade and repair other water transmission mains across the corporate area. These include $60 million and pipelines between 6 Miles and North Street. Waterworks will also be conducted along Washington Boulevard between Stanton Terrace and Moresco Road, Kings House Gate to West Kings House Road, Norman Manley Airport Road to Port Royal and Seaview to Jacks Hill. To increase water generation, the state will be digging more wells on the eastern end of the island, building a new water catchment facility at the Hermitage Reservoir and conducting dredging at the Mona Dam. Phase 2 of the Yalas water supply system is also being reviewed to channel water to the Mona Reservoir from the Yalas and Swift rivers.
There is no doubt that a significant number of persons are being impacted by the current water situation every day. The government recognizes that this can have a negative impact on our economic growth. And therefore we see this for the inconvenience and frustration that it is, but we also see it as a threat to our economic recovery. And therefore we have to make the necessary investments now, both for the present, medium, and long term.
By Wednesday, Minister without Portfolio Pernell Charles Jr. toured the Constant Spring Water Treatment Plant, the Mona Reservoir, and the Southbury Sewage Treatment Plant.
We are vulnerable because of our dependency on rainwater, and so we have to see that we can increase the efficiency with which we treat with the water that we capture. At the same time, we have to look on other sources and other ways to provide the improved efficiency and distribution that is required, particularly in Kingston and metropolitan area.
Minister Charles says he will be conducting an all-island tour of the National Water Commission sites. Wednesday also saw the Economic Growth Council issuing its 8th report to the nation. Council Chairman Michael Lee Chin said the country had performed well in key sectors over the last 3 years. Among them, the fall of the national debt, increase in the net international reserves, stable inflation rate, and consumer and business confidence at all-time highs. With the positive turnaround in the economy, Mr. Lee Chin encouraged Jamaicans to take advantage of the environment by investing.
We need to make sure as Jamaicans that we take advantage of the opportunity that is now. We in Jamaica, we need to defer gratification, consume less, save more, invest more right now.
Following news that former Prime Minister Edward Seaga had been hospitalized, Mr. Holness told the nation that Mr. Seaga was in positive spirits. Prime Minister Holness gave the update Thursday after visiting the ailing Seaga at a Miami, Florida hospital on Wednesday. He said Mr. Seaga was told of Jamaica's economic recovery and the progress made in football. The well wishes expressed by the Jamaican people were also conveyed to Mr. Seaga. And on Saturday, the Prime Minister remembered the life and work of former Prime Minister Hugh Lawson Shearer during a wreath-laying ceremony at National Heroes Park. Mr. Holness said the former Prime Minister dedicated his life in service to Jamaica and was instrumental in shaping the nation. And that's how we close out Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan. Thanks for watching.
Children, and we have rights. We have a right to be protected, provided for, and included. Don't beat me up, don't belittle me, and please don't molest me. I am under 13. I should not be working for a living. That is child labor. It is illegal. Stop leaving me alone. I am too young to provide for myself. I need your guidance.
Protect our nation's children. They have rights too. To learn more about children's rights, call or visit the offices of the Child Development Agency.
Thursday is Labor Day. The government has selected children's safety as the major focus. How will this theme be executed? Watch this.
Our children deserve better, and they need to know that they are protected and that we have their backs at all times.
And so, this Labor Day will be focusing all our attention on children. Under the theme Child Safety, It's You, It's Me, It's All of we will labor to make our communities much safer places for their youngest residents.
This is a responsibility that we must take very seriously. Collectively, we must assure them safe passage as they journey to adulthood and national productivity.
The major charge for the 2019 observation will be on road safety for children. Within the past 5 years, over 120 children have died on our roads, and a lot more have suffered life-altering injuries.
This is unacceptable for a country that consistently says how we love our children.
5 schools across 4 parishes have been chosen as the national projects. They are Holland Primary in St. Elizabeth, Barretttown and John Rollins Primary in St. James, Fair Prospect Primary in Portland, and Papine High School in St. Andrew. Works will include brightening of pedestrian crossings and crosswalks, constructing sidewalks and bus laybys, installing perimeter fencing, and repairing roadways.
Our work on Labor Day must take into consideration many elements of child safety and security, including the physical environment.
We invite Jamaicans to volunteer in activities geared at making our children safe and secure as they move about our communities.
These activities could be at schools where they spend most of their days, at church where they gain their spiritual support, and in their community spaces where they socialize, play, and chill out.
We know the creativity of the Jamaican people, and we expect and welcome the many different ideas that will flow. As before, we encourage people to register their projects with the municipal corporations or with the Labor Day Secretariat in my ministry or on the GIS Labor Day portal.
Labor Day celebrations kick off with a church service at the Meadowbrook United Church on May 19. The period will also be used to celebrate our labor movement through National Workers' Week under the theme, Yes to Decent Work, No to Child Labor.
We believe that the issue of child labor is everybody's business and that it is an unacceptable and illegal practice which must end.
Wreath-laying ceremonies to highlight the labor movement are planned for Monday, May 20 at Sam Sharp Square in Montego Bay, as well as the National Heroes Park and corner of Ocean Boulevard and Peachon Street in Kingston.
Let us come together on Labor Day in the interest of our children, ladies and gentlemen.
If you can't do it for yourself, do it for your children. Do it for my children. Do it for your children. Do it for our children.
Find a community project near you and let us labor together because child safety, it's me, it's you, it's all of it.
Jamaica, let's work to make our roads, schools and communities safer for our children. Join the national effort to protect our children this Labor Day, May 23. Lend a hand in your community by brightening pedestrian walks and sidewalk boundaries and sprucing up learning spaces for our children. Register your projects today at jis.gov.jm or email laborday@mcges.gov.jm. Call 876-978-7654 for details. Let's work together for child safety. It's you, it's me, it's all of we.
To make my environment where I live more healthy and more cleaner, and see that the community uplift with better caring.
To help clean up the school that my son go to. Stay home and cook food, eat and sleep, and do work that we don't get to do during school hours.
Stay home, fix up my garden and get some rest.
To do some volunteer work at my school, ANI Training Institute, and at my children's school, One Way Prep School.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash no paper, no dash no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where the fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
The magazine closes for today, but please visit our social media pages. We're just a click away. You may also download our app to be notified of our latest stories and features. Don't forget to give us a like or leave a comment on our pages. Until next time, I'm Sandra Clark. Take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.